Hello, everyone, and welcome back to First Energy Stadium. Matt Florjancic alongside Bud Shaw of the WKYC Digital Team, and we're here to talk about a Browns victory, their fourth straight here on the home front, 27-19 winners over the Bengals. But before we get to the game itself, we're going to actually talk about the postgame. A lot of interesting comments in the press room and in the locker room today, mainly from Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. about reports that he's dealing with a sports hernia and also wants to get out of Cleveland. First of all, on the injury front, Baker Mayfield did the Browns training staff no favors and pretty much, put them under the bus and then back the bus back over them, saying that the injury was not handled the right way, and if it was handled properly, Beckham might have missed the first 2 games of the season, but would be at 100% right now.
Yeah, you can't take the score from today and use it as the measure of what today was all about. Not only because it was against a 1-11 team and the Browns didn't look particularly good during stretches of that game, but because I think the Beckham thing kind of overshadowed everything else that happened today. Not only because of the injury and whether it was handled correctly, but also because he just tried to say this week that he couldn't predict the future, but that this was a place that he would rather be nowhere else. And yet, Jay Glazer from Fox, a guy who's built a reputation on having solid contacts with players, with the rank-and-file players, is saying that he's been telling players all season and coaches from opposing teams that he come get me, basically. He wants out of here. So it's very disappointing to hear all that, especially this late in the season.
Yeah, especially given the fact that the Browns still mathematically have a chance at the playoffs, and here we are again in an early December game talking about everything but the result.
Yeah, and listen, Baker can say all he wants, the drama's on the outside, inside the locker room we're focused, but we know that this team has added to the drama with some of the things that have been said and some of the subjects that keep coming up between games. They should have only one thing on their mind, and that's trying to finish undefeated the rest of the way, try to figure out a way to sneak in here. It's just been more of the same all season. It's been like this.
Yeah, it has. It's been trying at best and aggravating at times when they have the most talented team they've had in quite some time, and here we are again, not talking about what happens between the lines.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're not giving them any credit today for winning a game, and I don't mean it to sound that way. I mean, it beats the alternative. You don't want to lose to a 1-11 team. But there were stretches in here again where we didn't understand what Freddie Kitchens was doing play calling wise. One of the worst ranked defenses and run defenses in the league, and the Browns, granted, didn't have a lot of plays to run in the first half, but didn't use many of them running Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. So they rectified that. They got the win. They won it, somewhat comfortably at the end, and maybe they can grab some momentum from this.
Yeah, well, Bud was referring to running the football. Only 3 carries for 7 yards for Nick Chubb in that first half. He came out, and they really made an emphasis of it that first drive of the second half. Chubb sprung a 57-yarder and then helped set up Kareem Hunt on his 3-yard touchdown run. So they did get it going. Chubb eclipsed the 100-yard mark. You look at what Hunt was able to do, 68 total scrimmage yards and the touchdown. By and large, a good day, a workman-like second half for these two.
Yeah, definitely. I think they outscored them 17-0 or something in the third quarter. In the end, the Bengals are right down at the goal line. They can't get in. Twice down there. Once they had to settle for a field goal. The second time, Dalton runs a quarterback draw that they stop. And then a play that we thought, or I did anyway, that was going to go against the Browns was the pass that was deflected and intercepted that got ruled pass interference. If not for that, these guys are fighting for their lives down there at the end with the Bengals at the 20-yard line and holding the ball in a one-score game.
Yeah, very much so. Before we get on out of here, we'll just talk about Baker Mayfield's performance. A rough day at the office, so to speak. Just 11 of 24 from the field, less than 200 yards passing, and a couple of turnovers in there as well.
Yeah, listen, I know what Freddie's doing. He's trying to pump up his guys. He's got 3 games left in the season. He talked about him looking sharp. I didn't see that. I thought the one drive, Matt, that really reminded me of last year was when they faced a 3rd and 19, he makes the throw, the 20-yard completion. That was the kind of stuff that he did last year. When you saw it like 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 13 with the Browns last year, you thought, oh, he can pick this up. Hadn't been that kind of season this year, but I thought that one drive, it really started to show, glimpses of what they were last year. And I wonder, and you can tell me that I'm crazy, would they be a better offense without Odell Beckham Jr. this year?
I don't think you're crazy, and I think the argument could be made that the answer to that question is yes. I think they legitimately probably could be a better offense productivity-wise because they're not focused on just solely getting the ball to one player and trying to make him the focal point when you have other guys who are already focal points that can make plays.
Yeah, and I've referred to it kind of as a squeaky wheel syndrome, and I don't mean that he's been out there saying every week, throw me the ball, because he hasn't. But it's sort of that left unsaid thing. It's that unspoken, you have him on your team, and
right.
Boy, you better take advantage of him. And I think because of that, Baker Mayfield has tried to force some passes almost all season long. Today, one of the other things that jumped out at me about his performance, while it wasn't, great, it was him taking those opportunities to run for 5 yards and pick up a first down, to run for 7 yards and get into the corner of the end zone. This season he hasn't done that, and nobody wants to see the guy run 10 times a game, but
right.
You need to do that every once in a while. You can't just throw the ball and force it somewhere or throw it away all the time. You need to be part of the reason why first downs are being picked up if the coverage is not, is there and you can't make anything out of it.
Well, Bud, what can we look forward to from you for the rest of the evening at WKYC.com?
I think I'm going to be dressing the Odell Beckham season this year because to me it's been I don't know I'm still looking for the right word. So if you can think of it, send me the right word. But it's just been really just disappointing and troubling in some ways. I mean, the hopes were so high when he came here, and you thought this is the guy that, this is going to be the difference. They're going to have a top 10 offense, a top 5 offense. And it just hasn't quite worked out that way. And here we are, 3 games left in the season, issues with whether they took care of his injury the right way, whether he even still wants to be here. So if I was a Browns fan, I'd be upset, maybe more upset by this day than I would be happy, even though it is a win.
Yeah, we will have plenty of Odell Beckham coverage at WKYC.com now and throughout the rest of the evening and into tomorrow morning. For Bud Shaw, I'm Matt Florjancic. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.